for the pledge. Just a few quick notes. The meetings are recorded and broadcast online, so when you speak, please speak into the microphone so the audience at home can hear you. We have a special presentation. Sometimes the board or myself ask for presenters to learn more about resources that are out there or to teach the public. Bathrooms are to my right in the hall. In case of a fire, do not run, walk. Please observe courtesy and decorum when speaking. And Madam Clerk, please read the roll.
Supervisor Evans.
Here.
Councilwoman Cunningham.
Here.
Councilman Malone.
Present.
Councilman Perdicone.
Here.
Councilman Weiner.
Here.
Attorney for the town.
Here.
I want to first start off by thanking everyone involved in the Hoochie Music and Whiskey Fest. It was a stunning success. Tommy and Sean were great partners to work with, to collaborate with. The festival put our town on the map in a way that no other activity has. And it truly distinguished us from our bigger cousin, Rochester, and other towns throughout the county. We have an older expo, adult expo coming up on Wednesday at the community center. And with that, we have a presentation tonight. So please step up, and we are yours until you finish.
I'm sorry, Mr. Evans, just a clarification. It's a week from the older adult. It's a week
Thanks
from
very
Wednesday.
much. Thanks very much for that correction.
Yeah, because I'll be there, so
Thank you.
my calendar.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Maria Svetanovska, and can you hear me? Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Maria Svetanovska, and I work for the University of Rochester. Specifically, I am the assistant director for the mobile stroke unit, and I wanted to thank you all for allowing me to make this presentation. So today my goal is to educate everybody on stroke and our mobile stroke unit. Some of you may or may not be aware of it, and we figure this is a perfect time to expose everyone to the resources that we provide. So brief background, what is stroke? Stroke is when a blood clot is located in your brain and it's unable to deliver blood to your brain, which means that your cells are dying very quickly. For example, if brain cell does not receive oxygen, it will die within 3 to 4 minutes. So that is what stroke is, and it causes a lot of disability if left untreated. So how do we know the signs of stroke? It's called B-FAST. B is for balance. So if anybody is unable to stand up, which is unusual, usually there's something going on. E is for eye, if they have a blurry vision or all of a sudden they can't see normally. F is for drooping, facial drooping. That's usually a big sign that something is happening in the brain, especially if one side of the face is kind of like droopy. Or like A is for arms. So like if you were to like extend your arms and like one keeps on falling, usually that's also a big sign. Speech, if it's difficulty making a normal sentence. And then T is for time, meaning call 911 as soon as possible. So B-FAST is what we are using to kind of help the public have that stick, and they can recognize the signs of stroke. So here in Monroe County, it is the third leading cause of death. So quite a bit of people, we suspect around 3,000 people here in Monroe County die or are impacted by stroke. So every 40 seconds, somebody is having a stroke, and it's very unfortunate, and we're here to prevent this from happening to all of our loved ones or friends and family. So when you have a stroke, you are most likely going to either need additional help, and so around 150,000 admissions per year. These individuals end up either going to a nursing home or some sort of assisted living to help deal with some of the disabilities that the individual is facing after stroke, and it's costing us about $56 billion per year. And the individuals that are primarily impacted are anybody over 65 and older. So we are here to prevent that, because the sooner you receive treatment, the better the outcomes are. So just for perspective, every hour that you wait from calling the 911, around 120 billion brain cells die. And what does that mean? It means that your brain just aged 4 years. So the longer you wait, the worse the outcomes are. And this is where we step in. So what is the mobile stroke unit? Back in 2008, in Germany, it was the first mobile stroke unit that was developed and launched. And the idea is that when somebody calls 911 and they present with stroke symptoms, the mobile stroke unit comes to their driveway, goes to Wegmans, goes to Marshalls, and the individual is able to receive treatment on the spot. So we are able to deliver a medication that can help you relieve those symptoms as soon as it's injected via IV. So in 2008, the first mobile stroke unit was launched in the world, and then there was a study that showed that we are able to deliver care faster than the hospital. So you're on the spot, you're receiving this medication wherever you're located. And then in 2014, there was a competition between Texas Medical Center and Cleveland Clinic of who's going to have the first mobile stroke unit here in the United States. And Texas Medical Center beat Cleveland by 3 days. So they hold that title. And then we came in 2018. We were the 13th mobile stroke unit in the United States and the 18th in the world. One of our doctors, Dr. Bala, he came from Cleveland actually, and he came to Rochester and he exposed us to this new concept, and our leadership were very impressed, and they helped us get this mobile stroke unit. So what do we operate? So like I said, we are putting the patient as in the center. We want them to be the priority. So wherever you call, we come to you. And basically we are bringing the mobile stroke unit, like we're bringing the emergency department to wherever you're located is how this functions. And this is how we're able to give the care that's needed right on the spot and delay any unnecessary delays that could happen at the hospital. So our mobile stroke unit has a CT scanner, a specialty trained crew. We have a nurse that's there. We have a CT tech. We have a driver who's an EMT. So we have the whole package. And what's very interesting, we have a neurologist that is standby. So whenever we call them, they answer the phone and they can evaluate the patient just as if they were in the ED. So this is a monitor where they can look at the patient directly sitting here and here, the two cameras, and we have speakers. So everything is right there, visualized by the neurologist, and he can guide the patient or guide the nurse of what is needed next. In this little cabinet is where all of our medications stay. So if somebody is having a stroke, we can go ahead and administer the medication sooner than what it would have been like in the hospital. So this is another way of kind of showing that you call 911 and we come partners with the local EMS. So I think it's in Rondequoit EMS here. So they will be also paged along with MSU. Both groups show up. They are partners in the decision-making process. And if it's deemed to be a stroke, then you get onto the mobile stroke unit. And if not, then you go with your normal ambulance. Here in Irondequoit, I believe RGH is closer than U of R. So we give the patient the choice. If you want to go to U of R, great. And if not, we will take you to RGH because we partner with them as well. So they know our process pretty well. And community benefits. So, like I said, we are able to save 70 minutes of care. That means that you don't have to stay in the ED, you don't have to wait for someone to see you. The nurse and neurologist on the MSU are there waiting to provide care as soon as you get brought onto the unit. And what does that mean? That means that the patient will be able to most likely walk out of the hospital with minimal impact. They don't need to go to a skilled nursing facility, and they can go back to their baseline sooner than later. Like the MSU is also able to facilitate earlier access to potential surgical options. So what that means is, as the MSU is going to URMC or Rochester General Hospital, they can call them ahead of time and say, hey, we have a stroke on the way, please prep your ORs as soon as possible. So as the patient is going, somebody on site is prepping those ORs, so that's early intervention, and they can help the patient get access right away. So that's kind of quick, and I wanted it to be brief and straight to the point. So be fast, and I left some brochures for anybody that wants additional information. At this point, are there any questions?
What can we do as a community to further support or advocate maybe for additional? I know that Uvalde is about 25 minutes away in traffic. So are these units throughout the community, or there's only one?
So there is only one, and we are located in Brighton, so whenever somebody calls us, we can get to the scene in about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on location. But we also have the emergency lights, so if you are further out, we can trigger those so we can get there faster.
Is there any talk on adding additional units?
Yeah, so we actually have a new unit that's being built, and right now it's going to be the main unit, and whenever we have technical issues, it'll be replaced with the older unit. But at some point, depending on demand, we may be able to launch two at the same time. I know other cities, like in Florida, for example, they have two launched at the same time.
I think I saw in the presentation, the hours were 7:30 to 5:30.
Yes, so hours are 7:30 to 5:30. That's usually how we can accommodate with staff shortage. But so during that time, we're all yours. And after hours, you just call again 911, and then the normal ambulance comes to the patient's needs.
So there is response between 5:30 and 7:30.
Yes. Yes. Yep. This is just normal. You call 911, and we have partnership with them, so they know as soon as the person says, like, hey, I'm not feeling well, or I have a droopy face, they tend to know those symptoms, and they trigger both, so like both Irondequoit ambulance and the MSU at the same time. So then when they both come on site, they evaluate the patient, they come to a joint agreement, and if it's a stroke, we take them. So like if Irondequoit thinks it's a stroke but MSU doesn't think it's a stroke, we still take the patient to eliminate any possible human error.
How many calls would you typically?
So I know the numbers per month. So per month we see about 75 to almost 150 calls where we respond to them, and then depending on there, we determine whether or not to bring the patient on the unit. So quite a bit.
If I could, between 7:30 and 5:30, the staff is available. What about the off hours?
So that's when the 911 dispatch will only trigger the local ambulance. So at that point, the local ambulance takes over, and they would bring the patient like normal.
Okay, thank you.
I know it's unfortunate. It's
Yep.
We have to work towards making that 24/7. It's our goal.
Sure.
What's the restriction on staff? Is it training? Is it availability? Is union contracting?
It's availability. It's a very demanding job. We expect the nurse, for example, to know stroke in and out. They need to understand and be able to provide care within like a stressful situation. So having that qualified nurse that could experienced nurse that could be on the mobile stroke kit by themselves is challenging to have and fill the position. And also not even that, like we also need to have a CT tech, so they need to be trained, certified, and they need to have experience making those images as clear as possible, especially when you have a moving vehicle. Okay, perfect. Thank you, everyone. And if you have any questions, I believe one of you has my email, and you can reach out to me.
One final question.
Yes.
Are you going to be or have representation at our older adult expo?
I could, if I can get information on location, time, and date, I
Okay.
can make that happen.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, now we're ready for department head updates. We'll just start at the left and go right around.
The court continues to be extremely busy with a steady flow of traffic, criminal, and civil matters. Overall, operations are running smoothly, and the court's doing a great job managing the workload. And our new deputy clerk, Megan Sweeney, started about 3 weeks ago. She's already doing an excellent job. She's picking things up quickly and has been a great fit for our team.
The final roll has been published. We had a less than, I want to say, normal grievance day. We have a total of 3 SCAR hearings from people that have done them in the past, which in my humble opinion would indicate that your role is fair, equitable, and obviously legal. And as far as Article 7s go, pretty much a continuation of the ones that were already in the pipeline.
In DPW, we are working towards the EV chargers to be installed here at the town hall complex as well as Camp Eastman, and we're also working through the design with GreenSpark for the solar panels on our farmers market building. Where the EV chargers are slotted to be done by September, and we're still working through the permitting, but the solar panels should be shortly thereafter. After 3 years, this week and next week, we will be receiving our 3 plow trucks. So we're very excited for that, as well as our Prentice loader. We are continuing our paving program. So we did the neighborhoods around Arundecoit High School, and we are also finishing up our southeast area, which is part of our CDPG program. We also did new gutters on Seymour Road, which will follow paving in the next few weeks. We plan on having that done before school. And we are also continue with gutters along Oakview Drive to continue the work on that road. We are also participating in the Older Adult Expo in a few weeks. We also, DPW as well as our cemetery staff will be there.
Quick question. Who's taking the lead on the opening of the new bathrooms and the cabin, as far as having a ribbon cuttings to get the information out to the public? Is it going to be you or a rec? I don't know who will do that.
I hadn't thought about that, so we can talk about that.
All right, thank you.
I guess, yeah, okay.
For community development, as I'm sure the comptroller will mention, budget season's begun. We do have a bunch of different moving pieces with some things still to be determined over the next couple months. So I'm sure we'll discuss those in the coming budget meetings. We've been working pretty extensively with the IT department on a couple projects. One of those is related to a software upgrade that was previously approved by the board. There should be, I believe, an RFP coming forward shortly. We're also working with them on the short-term rental related software pending any passage of legislation by this board. A couple project updates. One that I know has been kind of a hot button discussion the last few weeks. Starbucks at Eastridge and Culver. The only things I can comment specifically on are the article in the Democrat Chronicle that spoke about the Starbucks Corporation abandoning their grab and go concept. Included closing more than 70 locations across the country. The one that was proposed at Eastridge and Culver was that same concept. We've reached out to the developer to confirm whether or not that project is going to move forward differently, and we have not gotten a confirmation on that. I can say we did have signed site plans, however, no permits were pulled as of today. Other new project coming forward that will be at the planning board this evening, 635 Titus Avenue. It's a two-story mixed, which I'll call it a taxpayer-style building where there's a residence on the second floor and a retail or quick service restaurant on the first floor. That does fit the comprehensive plan along with the muck zoning of that address. If you're familiar, I believe it used to be Irondequoit Hots. Ironically, the proposal is for Irondequoit Hots to go into this new building. So this building will fit in a lot better with the neighborhood and what we're looking to do there. So we're pretty excited about that project. And then the last thing for the board, I'm working with HR and the comptroller to potentially change or reshape the position that was recently vacated of our grants clerk to maybe better be allocated to the demands of the department at this point.
For recreation, the fall activity guide will be available this week. We'll have that available online on the website as well as all of our social media. And then we'll also have hard copies available at the community center, the library, and here at Town Hall. This is the last week of summer camp for the kiddos, so just want to thank Jenna Rosigliano, who's our camp coordinator, Gianna Amico, and the rest of the staff at Camp Eastman and at all of our playground programs for having a great summer. It's been hot. There's been a lot of chaos. Speaking of hoochie-nanny, there's a lot going on at camp this summer, and they really did a nice job maneuvering all of that, so I really want to make sure to acknowledge those folks, and we're looking into some new and exciting ideas for next year that we're exploring. So, this Saturday is the Back to School Bash at the Community Center from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll have some food trucks, we'll have games and giveaways, a DJ, we'll do back to school supplies, we'll have free haircuts for the kiddos, all kinds of good stuff going on, and it's supposed to be a beautiful Saturday, so we hope that folks will come out and join us at the Community Center this week. And then I did also just want to touch base on the Hoochie-Nanny event this past weekend. I want to thank the board for their support when we brought this idea of partnership to the table. There was a lot of things to talk through, but ultimately everybody did support this event, and we pulled it off, and it was a really wonderful weekend. Over 8,000 attendees over the course of the weekend. Local, regional, national, and international music artists, vendors, and guests. And really, the Hoochie-Nanny Festival organizers, I mean, every detail was just meticulously planned. It really was more, I say it wasn't so much as an event as an experience, because there was something for everybody on those grounds this weekend. We had, kids there, we had adults there, we had people from all over, and I think really everybody was able to take something away from it. There's been nothing but positive review on social media that I've seen. The festival organizers are very happy, and we are very happy to have been a part of it. I also want to just thank and congratulate the festival organizers, Sean McCarthy from McCarthy Tents and Events, Tommy Brunette from Iron Smoke Distillery, Jenna Knopf and Bree Carpenter, who were the people kind of behind the scenes making things go. And they really had hundreds of staff, vendors, and volunteers there that made this thing happen this weekend. It was a huge production, and it was really cool to see come together. I also would like to give special thanks to my colleagues here at the town of Irondequoit, IPD, DPW, the Community Development Department, IT, and the clerk's office, especially for helping to make sure that we were able to put this thing in action. It was a lot of planning, a long time coming, and at the end of the day, we made it happen, and it was a wonderful opportunity for town. And then just a very special thanks to what I kind of think of as my weekend warriors. These were the folks that were with us all 3 days, working around the clock at the festival itself to make this happen. My event coordinator, Shayna Butler, and my management assistant, Megan Hoffman, who were running the parking lot, which is a job in and of itself, but was a really cool experience. We had a lot of fun doing it. Cosmo Pusatari and Scott Zampatori from DPW were with us every step of the way this weekend and really did an awesome job. Heidi Bull, our deputy fire marshal, was amazing in assisting us this weekend as well. And Captain Andy Whitaker and Sergeant Dom Pronti, who were there each day, leading IPD and making sure that everything was safe and organized. We appreciate them. Also, special thanks to Chief Peters, Councilwoman Ann Cunningham, and Councilman John Perticone, who really supported this effort all along the way, and especially to Councilman Perticone, who in the 11th hour, when there were folks saying, no, we can't, he was right there saying, yes, we can, and he helped us make this happen and get it over the finish line. So thank you, John. We really appreciated that help. And then just thanks to the town of Arundecoit residents for embracing and supporting the event. And I'm really just proud to have played a very small role in it. It was a really, really awesome experience. And I really hope that we can look forward to seeing Hoochie back here in town next year. So thank you.
Shannon, I have to echo all of your sentiments, and the credit for the town's participation in this event goes to all of our department heads and our staff who were there from day one and supporting and planning. It was absolutely incredible. I have a lot of friends who are very much into the festival scene, and it was class act from the moment that participants entered Camp Eastman to the time that they left. So thank you for your support and your work on this. It really put Arundecoit in a very great light. All of the advertising over the weekend, Arundecoit Camp Eastman, Arundecoit Camp Eastman. So I think we've had a difficult year as a town, and this really shows the community what's really in our hearts and how wonderful a town and a community we really are. So thank you.
Just a couple to, I think it went above my expectations, I'll tell you that much. I was there, and I tell you, it was great. It was a good time. I think, Chief, you can probably attest to this. The crowd was well behaved. You know, you get a lot of people together, but they were well behaved, good group of people, everybody. And
We had zero incidents.
you know, I can't say anything more than Shannon and Ann said, but it did went above my expectations on how well it was, and weather, you know, was great and all that too. So proud to be a part of it, and proud to go there and see it for myself as well too. So thank you to all.
And I just want to echo everything that was said. I spoke to about 100 people this weekend. People from San Francisco, Seattle, Ohio, Texas, Florida, who came in. So I think this really did put our town on the map. They enjoyed everything that our town had to offer. So that all around it was a stunning success. And Chief is correct, there were zero incidents, day or night, at this event for 8,000 people to be gathering. So that just reflects the quality that we had. All right, Chief?
Obviously, I was in attendance Friday, Saturday night also, and like I said, the crowd was absolutely amazing. And watching some of the drone footage, putting it up there, and actually looking at it and saying, "Wow, this is our town." So it was actually, I've been to a lot of music festivals, and this one was, brought a little pride in your heart actually watching it. So let's get it done again next year. We'll obviously little tweaks here and there and all that stuff, but that's the reason why we have our first year. We worked them out, overcame it, and there was no major issues that we couldn't get done. So thank you very much. It was great. So We had a great, busy last month, and actually pretty glad to have a little reprieve here a second. We had our teen academy end of last month. We started out with 11 campers, ended with 9 successful graduates. Another rousing success. The kids just seem to get better and better each year, and it's just with the support they get from the parents, and we actually got a lot more support from officers coming out each day, and I think the officers see how much of a benefit this is to build those little relationships. Actually having some of our officers come out on their own time just because they wanted to run PT in the morning with the kids and do some of the stuff just because they were such a good group of kids. So phenomenal group, and we'll continue it again next year. After that, we had our national night out the other night. I think it grows and grows every year, and I think it looks like it's enjoyable. People just want to come out and just have like a community event. This year we added the dunk tank, and $5 you could dunk the chief and myself, and you saw Officer Friscotti had his little water wings floaties out there. He had his goggles, so we had a little fun with it for the kids. But wound up raising some good money for our officer wellness and peer support program. So we've been pretty successful, and you'll see in the resolutions tonight that we've raised a lot of good money this summer for donations. So it's kind of building like that small family. So getting our officers out there and really enjoying it. So it's been wonderful. Just trying to think what else we had going on. Obviously, Hoochie this weekend, and just getting ready for budget stuff right now. So a lot of people are going on last minute vacations, family leave, stretching that summer out as long as they can. So we'll be getting through it. So thank you.
So just regarding Hoochie, I just want to say a special thanks to Melissa Rhodes, who stayed on top of the insurance issue we had. Thank her very much for being there and really going after what we needed and staying on top of things. In the clerk's office, we're getting ready for tax season. Bills will go out on August 29th for the school taxes, and we'll start collecting September 2nd. Other than that, everything else is business as usual.
In the comptroller's office, we're starting our budget process for 2026. Directions went out to the department heads a couple weeks ago. The requests from the departments are due to my office between this week and next week. After we get those, we will start having meetings with the supervisor to review those requests. We are ending our 2024-25 CDBG grant year. It ended July 31st. We're working on the end of year reports that are necessary for the HUD. And other than that, it's just as usual in the comptroller's office.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney?
Yes, thank you. So we just had our second office hours. I think that's going well, but it's created an evergreen task list. So I know that I owe some folks some responses to emails, and I think that's just been working out pretty well so that we kind of keep on top of things that are percolating in the town. I know that I did get contact from your office about setting something up, and I was not able to do it on Wednesday. So at some point, reach out and we'll get something on the calendar so we can follow up, Mr. Supervisor. There's also, I think, next up, kind of on the agenda for with the clerk's office and your office is to handle some of these FOIL appeals that have come in. So that's something that we have to work on, and that's where we are. I know I got a lot of work in progress, so.
Right before I came in, and we would talk about this offline, got a note from GSA that I need to run by you. So if I forget, please remind me. Liaison?
There's the next meeting is the 27th. And during that time, they'll be talking about the library budget.
Controller, I think we have a financial report.
Okay. The financial results for the town as of July 31st, 2025. Total expenses, actual as well as encumbered, are $26,333,000, or 60.2% of budget, which is slightly above the 58.3% of the year that has elapsed. The breakdown is $23,329,000 for actual expenses and $3,003,000 for encumbrances. Encumbrances are 6.9% as departments are continuing to commit to services and supplies for the remainder of the year. General fund expenses are close to budget at 60.1%, or $16,957,000. The split here is actual expenditures $15,494,000 and encumbered expenses $1,463,000. Jointly, the highway funds expenses are higher than the percent of the year that has elapsed at 74.4%, or $4,509,000. Actual expenses within the highway funds are 55.6% of budget, or $3,368,000, and encumbrances account for the remaining 18.8%, or $1,141,000. These costs are typically driven by salt, fuel, roadwork and paving, services, and materials such as oil and stoning and asphalt, as well as equipment parts. Expenditures in the library fund are 58.7% of budget, or $1,709,000. Included in this amount is a bond payment for principal and interest for the consolidated library. Sewer fund expenses of $2,092,000 equate to 49.7% of budget. Expenses in the stormwater drainage total $338,000, or 34.3% of budget. Revenue received in the general fund is $18,275,000, or 66.4% of budget. Real estate taxes of $13,011,000 have been collected. Other revenues recorded include payments in lieu of taxes of $301,000, 2 months of sales tax of $1,176,000, interest on earnings of $102,000, and recreation program fees of $619,000. Second quarter sales tax receipts are anticipated in August. Other major revenue items are expected later in the year, include franchise fees and aid and incentives for municipalities. Regarding the entire town, $31,388,000, or 73.6% of revenue and appropriated fund balance has been received to date. Approximately $19,366,000 is real estate tax. At the end of July, the library has received $2,856,000, or 98.1% of its budgeted revenue. 78.9%, or $4,721,000, has been received in the collective highway funds. Sewer has received revenue of $3,822,000, or 96.7% of that fund's budget. Stormwater drainage has recognized $973,000, or 99% of budgeted revenue. In addition, American Rescue Funds have been fully allocated to projects. Roughly $20,156,000, or 89.7%, has been expended to date on various projects. An additional $751,000 is encumbered. American Rescue Plan funding must be fully expended in full no later than December 31st, 2026. This concludes the financial result report for July.
Are there any questions or comments concerning the financial report? Madam Clerk, I think we have some minutes to review.
So the minutes for the workshop meeting are included in the packet. The minutes from the regular town board meeting will be posted as they are updated.
Are there any questions, comments, or corrections for the minutes? We review now the town board agenda items for August 19th at our regular town board meeting. Madam Clerk, can you please read the first item?
First item would be a public hearing on the matter of amending Article 7 of Chapter 222 of the Code of the Town of Arundecoit relating to installation of no left turn signs.
Have an explanation?
Yes, this is a public hearing where we'll hear comments to change town code for the no left turn signs on, I apologize. Which road? Goodman, I'm sorry, because we have another one coming. This was proposed by the county during their paving program, so this will change the town code.
Any questions or comments? I do have one. We spoke some time ago about no right-hand turns from Titus and Cooper. Do you know where we wound up with that on? Just something that when this came up, it was in my notes.
Yeah, the county is looking at those capital projects, believe the following year, so that will address those then.
Thank you very much for the update. Madam Clerk?
Along with the public hearing, there would be a resolution approving the amendment to Article 7 of Chapter 222 of the Code of the Town of Arundecoit relating to the installation of no left turn signs.
No explanations needed, correct? Madam Clerk, next item?
Second would be a public hearing on the matter of a proposed local law to amend the historic preservation local law of the Town of Arundecoit.
Have an explanation?
Yes, this is something we discussed last month when the public hearing was presented. The Historic Preservation Commission started this project a number of years ago in order to rewrite Chapter 236, which is the Historic Preservation Code. This was after they had had a discussion at the state level regarding updates to all municipalities' historic preservation codes. And then there's the resolution that follows to adopt it as well.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item?
Next item would be public hearing number 737, number 3, on the matter of a proposed local law to amend Town Code Chapter 235 regarding short-term rentals.
May I have an explanation?
Yeah, this is the public hearing regarding short-term rentals. This is including the draft legislation that was attached as well. I'm not sure if Deputy Supervisor Wayner or the town attorney wants to fill in on that.
You can maybe articulate the law and I'll just add a little color.
So as everybody knows, we've been working on putting together a reasonable, some reasonable regulations to manage the short-term rentals born out of the public comment earlier this year. And we have crafted kind of a compromise on a lot of things to, well, you know, it's probably about 85% there with a couple more tweaks from the public feedback that we've already received. And I think we may make some more changes before the hearing, but certainly I think there's some additional comments that warrant some further review before it can be adopted. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, I would agree with that in general. We did hear from a number of the public at the announcement of the public hearing. I would encourage that anyone who wants to speak in regard to it to attend again at the actual public hearing. I would also encourage my fellow board members and the supervisor to provide any input that they would to the law to see how we might want to amend the facts contained within that.
Thank you. It's kind of unfortunate it's taken this long to get here, but I think it's fortunate on the other sense. I do have additional comments from residents and also from the industry themselves that I'll be providing for you sometime before the meeting. With that, and I'll get that to you probably at the end of the week.
Sure. I think, so send it to me, copy the board, and copy Mr. Lang also so that we
Well,
can.
I'd like to just talk between you and I first before we add more people onto the stew. Any other questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
These are items for board action. Resolution authorizing the annual audit of the town courts.
May I have an explanation?
Thank you. This resolution is just for the board to authorize the audit of the town courts. This is required by New York State Office of Court Administration.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Authorizing the use of fund balance for stenographer services for Justice Court.
May I have an explanation?
Thank you. This resolution would authorize the use of $2,300 of fund balance for the Justice Court for additional stenographer services. The court has been recognizing extended court calendars and an increased need for stenographers.
Any questions or comments?
I just was wondering if we're anticipating an increase for next year and if this will be taken into account towards next year's budget, please.
We are anticipating an increase, and we will include that in the budget for 2026.
Great, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Authorizing grant application for the Justice Court Assistance Program.
May I have an explanation?
This is the annual Justice Court Assistance Grant Program that the state offers to help town and village courts with the funding for equipment, security upgrades, and other improvements, and there is no cost to the town.
Any questions or comments?
It's a significant grant, so thank you for this. It obviously offsets our taxpayers' burden.
Madam Clerk.
Authorizing the acceptance of a monetary gift from the 50/50 raffle at the Classic Car Cruise-In for the Officer Wellness Program within the Arundecoit Police Department.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, sir. This is, we had a 50/50 raffle at the Cruisin', and they raised $258 for our officer wellness program. I want to accept that donation.
Any questions or comments?
If I could, I attended that event, and Chief, it was a great event. I appreciate your support there, and everybody else that was in attendance. A great day.
Your truck looked good.
Yeah, and I just want to do a shout out to Keith as well for, having that, and it was a good, I think they had most cars this year than they had prior, and
Yep.
I know, and Grant, maybe next year they'll have a truck
Never know, John.
category for you, okay?
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk.
Authorizing attendance to assisting individuals in crisis training.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, sir. This is for one of our officers from our peer sport program to attend the International Critical Included Stress Foundation's developed curriculum, and it's going to be August 18th, 19th in Depew, New York. Officer will drive back and forth each day. So what I do need, though, is possibly a vote tonight because the registration has to be in by the 13th. So.
Okay. Next item, Madam.
Authorizing attendance to effective fitness combative training.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, sir. This is going to be a course hosted by the Monroe County Sheriffs. Effective Fitness Combatives, EFC, is nationwide known. Actually, their founder, Jay Wadsworth, was one that developed the DCJ curriculum for our self-defense for police officers. And this is for one of our officers to go to be instructor level for our department.
Any questions or comments?
There's a couple extra zeros in the decimal point on the amount.
It should be $1,249.
Just there's a decimal point and then a couple more zeros after it.
Yeah, that does look like it's a.
Makes it almost look like it's $1 million.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely. Yeah, it's $1,249, and we have it in our training budget.
So, Chief, if I could, is this a train-to-trainer class where somebody will go and then come back and train our local staff?
Yes, so one of our regular defensive tactics instructors is going to go and Obviously, with our new mat room here, all those things that we learned there, what we've been ongoing doing with the vehicle extractions, with the unarmed ground defenses, everything else, that'll be brought right back here.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Authorizing the acceptance of monetary gifts for National Night Out Dunk Tank and anonymous donations for the Officer Wellness Peer Support Program within the Arundecoit Police Department.
May I have an explanation?
Yes, sir. Again, all the money that we raised the other night at National Night Out. Plus, we also received a couple of checks from smaller individuals with like $100 checks that wish to remain anonymous, that will go directly towards our officer wellness and peer support program.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk,
Declaring certain equipment surplus property.
may I have an explanation?
Yes, this resolution would declare the items on the addendum as surplus. All of these things are replacement items, and then the cat backhoe buckets we just no longer are using. So these would go on the next online municipal auction.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk, next item.
Approving the special event license for Fleet Feet Yellow Jack Racing Rochester Half Marathon and 5K Run.
May I have an explanation?
So this is their annual event to be held on September 21st, and they have all their approvals in, and they have also what is needed from Monroe County.
Thank you. Any other items, Madam Clerk?
That is it, unless you're voting on,
Yes, we're going to move to that. So, Madam Clerk, it appears that we have one item for board action. Please read the resolution.
resolution authorizing attendance to assisting individuals in crisis training.
May I have a motion?
Move.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any additional explanation needed? Seeing none, any questions or comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? The resolution is adopted. This brings us to the close of the workshop for tonight, August 11th. Our next town board meeting is August 19th at 2025 at 7 p.m. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Moved.
May I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The meeting is adjourned.